What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Nissan Versa SV. Huge thank you to Emma Gomez over at Safford Nissan of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Versa or any Nissan product, then I'll be sure to have Emma's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Nissan Versa SV. And this particular one's been painted in the $395 gray sky pearl. I wanted to preface this video by saying the Versa sees no changes for the 2024 model year. So with that in mind, as standard with the SV, you get halogen headlights with high beam assist, as well as standard running lights and standard turn signals. Taking a step to the left, here is a front-on shot of the SV. So with this trim level, you get a gloss black front grille with your Nissan logo located at the center of the grille. On the outer sides of your grille, you get some chrome accenting, and when you come down just a little bit, you get satin black lower and outer grilles, as well as a body color front chin. Now I'm going to give you a front 3/4 shot of this thing here real quick. And this one being the SV, as standard, you get 16-inch gray with machine face wheels. And the wheels are wrapped in 205/55 Kumho Solus TA31 all-season tires. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires as best that I can here real quick. And then this one has also been optioned with the $245 splash guards, which can be found behind all 4 of your wheels and tires. Now I'm going to take a step back and give you a side profile shot of this thing. As you may be able to tell, you get the satin black window trim. You also get body color door handles. However, you do not get keyless access. Now, found on the driver's side, you have your fuel door. In order to open up the fuel door, you have to come in here to the driver's side, pull on this thing right here, and that gives you access to your fuel door. You do not get a capless filler neck. However, 87 octane will do you just fine. You may be able to tell here on your C-pillar, you get some satin black trim that leads into the bottom of your rear window. Up top here, you get your body color shark fin antenna. You get a rear window defroster, and your third brake light is located there. You also get standard taillights with this thing, and here is a rear 3/4 shot. It kind of reminds me back here of the Altima styling, especially here in the taillight area. It's kind of like a mix, in my opinion, of the Altima and the Sentra. Now I'm going to take a step to the right, give you a booty shot of this thing. You may be able to tell you get chrome badging with the Versa and the SV badging, but your Nissan badging is in gray with some white outlining. Now beneath the Nissan logo and offset to the left, that is where you will find your backup camera. However, underneath here, you do not get a button to open up the trunk. So if you wanted to open up the trunk, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either use the key fob in order to open up the trunk, or you can go into the interior and pull on the thing underneath where the driver would sit. But if you press this button right here, that is how you open up the trunk. Now, taking a look at what we got going on here inside the trunk, honestly, first things first, very good amount of storage space here in the trunk area considering the size of this little sedan. But this one's been optioned with the $135 trunk package, which gives you the trunk net as well as the grocery bag hooks both here and here. This has also been optioned with the $280 carpeted floor mats and the trunk mat. So you get the carpeted Versa trunk mat as a part of that. And if you lift up on this right here, that is where you will find your temporary spare tire and your jack. So very good amount of storage space back here. And if you needed a little bit more storage space, you can come in here and you pull up on this thing and you can drop your second row seats for some additional storage space. They're not fold flat second row seats. You can see there's probably 6 inches of elevation from the trunk to the bottom of that seat, but nonetheless, you still get a little bit of extra storage space back there. Anyways, closing that trunk back up, let's finish things off here at the rear end. So you get 4 parking sensors as standard. You also get a satin black lower bumper and a body color rear valance. You can see the lower bumper right here with the integrated reflectors, the rear valance with those diffuser fins. And really, that's kind of about it for the exterior of the Versa SV. Now, I heard from a little birdie that Nissan may be killing the Versa after the 2025 model year, which honestly, kind of stinks because this is one of the only like truly affordable vehicles on the market today. You can pick one of these up for around $20,000, which, you know, you can't really say that about many vehicles nowadays. So it would be a shame if that rumor is true. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 1.6 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that produces 122 horsepower and 114 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a CVT for a 0 to 60 time in 9.5 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 32 miles per gallon in the city, 40 miles per gallon on the highway for 35 miles per gallon combined with front wheel drive only. You cannot get the Versa with all-wheel drive, and you're also not going to win any races with this thing, but you're going to more than make up for it with its fuel economy. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything thus far, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I truly do appreciate every one of those things. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you do not get keyless access, so in order to get into the interior, all you have to do is press the unlock button on the key fob. Speaking of the key fob, it's mostly satin black with some satin chrome accenting, and going over the functions on it, starting from the top, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your trunk pop function, and your panic function at the bottom. Let's press the unlock button and see what the SV has to offer on the interior. So with this trim level, you can only spec it with the graphite cloth with blue accent upholstery. I'll get more into that here in a second. We are going to start on our driver door panel. So you get a chrome looking door handle, your power side view mirror controls. This button is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You have your unlock and your lock functions, an automatic up and down driver window. All the other windows are not automatic up or down. Then you get a little bit of storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, and you also get a speaker on the door panel as well. This thing comes with a 4-speaker audio system. You also get a manually adjustable front seat for the driver as well as the front passenger. And now we're going to step on into the interior. Let's take a listen to what it sounds like when we close the door. Now let's fire this thing up. And that is what it sounds like when you fire the Versa up from the driver's perspective. And now I'm just gonna walk you throughout the entire interior, starting up top here. So you can see that is a defroster for your front window. You get the same thing on the passenger side as well. You also get a circular HVAC vent, which I'm gonna point the other way so it doesn't mess with the audio system. And then down here, you get a spot you could set your key fob if you wanted to. And then beneath that, if you pull on this, that is how you open up your fuel door. You pull on this, that is how you open up your trunk. And then if you come down to here and you pull up on this, that is how you pop open the trunk. Now, at the bottom of the steering column, if you flip this down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So you can push the steering wheel away from you, you can bring the steering wheel towards you, and it also moves up and down. And then once you find your comfortable position, all you gotta do is lock it right back into position. Now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the Versa. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, it is also your headlight control stock. So right now that is headlights off, that is parking lights on, that is headlights always on, and then that is headlights automatic. I personally like to leave it in the automatic position. Now zooming back out, you get a vinyl wrapped wheel, and just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the Versa, kind of funny sounding. Now, going over the functions on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your volume controls. You see this up arrow, down arrow, and the left and the right arrows. Those are all to control your 7-inch drive assist display, which I will get into here in a second. This is to go forwards and or backwards on the track, and then that is your back button also for that display. Now, with the Versa, you get cruise control, not adaptive cruise control, just regular cruise control. And here, and here are all of your cruise control settings. This right here is to speak to the vehicle. It is also doubles as a Siri function if you have an iPhone and you are connected to Bluetooth. And then you click that phone button right there. It's going to pop up your phone screen on the infotainment system. Obviously, you also have your windshield wiper control stock. Pulling back on that is how you wash the windshield. Now, moving into our gauge cluster. On the right-hand side, you have your speedometer. Up top here, you have some of your different warnings. You also have your high beam light. You have your turn signal lights up top there as well, and a couple other lights you may or may not want to see, honestly. You got a low battery light, airbag light, letting you know that the seatbelt's unbuckled, etc. And then here, this is again your 7-inch drive assist display. This is what this screen looks like. So you can see you have your ambient exterior temperature, you have the current time, which is not the actual time. Then you have your driver assistance features, the transmission status stuff. That is the odometer. That is your fuel gauge. The fuel range is there at the center of your tachometer. And if you wanted to navigate throughout that screen, again, you have these controls here. So let's say I click to the right, you can see I have my audio stuff. Click one more time to the right, I have my fuel economy stuff. Then I have my information, like my digital speedometer readout. If I click down one, I got my drive computer. Then I have my driving aids. And then all the way at the bottom, I have my tire pressure stuff. Now I'm clicking over to the right. You can go in between your different settings. So your VDC settings is your traction control system. So you can turn it on or off. Now it is off. Now it is back on. I'm gonna click back. Oh wait, I accidentally clicked. This is the back button. Then you can go into your driver assistance features. You can see all of the different ones you can turn on or off if that is what you wanted to do. Then you can navigate through all the other displays here, which I am not going to go throughout. But anyways, if this was my vehicle, I would leave it on the screen that it was on originally. I just like the tachometer, the speedometer, and then actually, wait, there's no digital speedometer readout here. So I would probably actually put it on the digital speedometer readout screen, which would be right here. Don't really need to see the tachometer, I guess, even though it does look cool. And then moving over to here, you get 2 HVAC vents. This lets you know if the passenger airbag is on or off, and then beneath that, you have your hazard button. Now, coming down just a tad bit more, you have your 7-inch infotainment system with wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto connectivity. You also have the physical controls on the outside of the screen, like your home button. It's gonna pop up your phone button. This is gonna bring you into your night mode. This is gonna bring you into your auto mode. This is going to bring you into your audio stuff. Right now, my phone is connected. Then, if you click on this, this is going to turn the mute the audio system. This is like your volume control knob. You have your tuning control knob. If you press on this, it's going to pop up your bass, your treble, your balance, and your fader. And then you got your back button. That's to go backwards on the track. That's to go forwards on the track. If you click on the disc button, that is to turn the display off. Clicking on that button again, it's going to bring the display back on. Now let's go into the home screen. So on the home screen, which I guess this is the home screen, you have your different AM, FM, USB audio, Bluetooth audio, auxiliary audio. Then you get your phone stuff and your different settings. So this is what the settings screen looks like. Very basic infotainment system. I don't need to spend any time on this because, well, it's just all right there. And then beneath that, you get a single zone climate control system. One thing about this climate control system is that you have 4 fan speeds, and there's a big variance between the different fan speeds. So this is fan speed 1, take a listen to 2. 3 is where it gets loud. And then this is 4. So if it were me, I'd like 8 different fan speeds, but that's just me being picky. If I was paying $20,000 for a vehicle, 4 is just enough. But it is funny how it's from 2 to 3, it's much louder. 2, see how much louder that is? Anyways, beneath this, you get a 12-volt power outlet, you get your auxiliary jack, you get a USB-A port, and you get a wireless charging pad as standard. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, one of the bigger phones on the market, and if you set it down in there, you may be able to tell it fits no problem. And now it sounds like it is charging. So yep, it is charging. That illuminates in that amber color when the phone is charging. And that's about it for that. You get your push button start button, you get your low mode down there for sporty driving, 2 cup holders, a manual parking brake. It is a nice hand brake. Then opening this up, you get a USB-C port and probably 4 inches of storage space here, and probably about maybe 6 inches of depth down in there, so not very much storage space in that center console. You also do not get a lockable lower glove box, but honestly, considering you have a very good sized glove box for the size of this vehicle, you can fit your napkin straws in addition to your owner's manual. And then this is what the passenger side looks like. I apologize about my bags there. You get a standard rear view mirror. You have your light for your driver. You have your light for your passenger. And then the light here at the center, when it is flush like that, that is when you open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. If you click right there, that is instant dome light on. And if you click to the left, that is lights off. And then when you open up the doors, the lights are not going to turn on. Opening up the visor, you get a vanity mirror. You get a spot you could set your registration if you wanted to. And the visor itself does not slide, but the piece on the end of the visor does slide in and out. Driver gets a no poop handle, as does the front passenger. And I would have to say, I think these seats are pretty dang comfortable. You know, maybe they are a little bit touch on the firmer side, but in my personal opinion, I think they are very comfortable, and I could do a definitely do a road trip here with this thing. I guess one thing I did not point out is that over here on your gear shifter, if you click that, that is how you go into sport mode. So you see that little like white line, you click on that, that's going to put you into your sport mode. But yeah, comfortable seats, and for $20,000 I have no complaints. It is actually very, very nice, and I like that digital display here in the dash area. But now I'm just going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at the couple options this has. There are no packages that you can get with this, so as it is pretty much how it comes, unless you option for some different accessories and stuff. But now I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Versa SV is spec'd is $21,875. That is a great value in my opinion for what you get with this thing. Yes, it is not the nicest thing in the world, but it's not bare bones by any means, all things considered, for the money. So I think you're getting a great value here. I do wish it had adaptive cruise control, but I do want to show you what we got going on in the rear before moving into the driving portion of the video. So taking a look at what we got going on back here, folding that back up, you can see somebody messed up the window sticker here, so I'm going to try to like hold it and roll the window down. Okay, maybe I should not do that. Maybe I'll do that on this side. We're going to see how far these rear windows go down. Okay, you can see rear window goes all the way down. And then let's go look at the door panel. So no padding with your armrest here. You get some carbon fiber looking trim. It's not actual carbon fiber. A spot you could set a water bottle and a speaker. Stepping on in, you get a no poop handle here, a no poop handle there, and you also get your dome light here at the rear as well. You can turn it on, you can set it to door, or you can turn it off. Now, sitting behind myself, you do not get a seat back pocket. You get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. You get a USB-C port and no center fold down armrest. Now going over leg and knee room, 5'9", adjusted behind myself. I've actually got plenty of knee and leg room. Here's another view of that knee and leg room. And when it comes to headroom, I'd say being 5'9", I probably have about 1.5 inches of headroom, but if I slouched a little bit, I can make up for some headroom. So you can be comfortable here if you wanted to. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on inside of the Sentra. So, you know, we talked about the exterior, we talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video, or I always start my videos here. We go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and then I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Nothing will ever be a 10 because perfection does not exist in this world, as we know. Did very well over that first speed bump. Let's see how it does here on the second one. Again, 5 miles an hour. I'm going to give this thing an 8.3 on a scale of 1 to 10. It did very well going over those speed bumps. Honestly, better than a lot of other vehicles that I've tested, and this is $21,000. What a funny little horn. All right, we're going to take a right onto this road. I'm going to put this thing into sport mode, and honestly, I thought it had more power than it did. I got on it one time, leaving the dealership, merging out onto the roadway, and I was like, okay, this thing actually is like decently quick. Yeah, you got to rev it up, but you know, it feels more than the horsepower that it actually has. So here's an acceleration. All right, I'm gonna let you know right now, you are not going to be winning any races, but you may win an award for getting the best fuel economy in a non-hybrid vehicle. So this thing gets very good fuel economy, 32 in the city, 40 on the highway. I mean, that's nearly like hybrid territory, and this is just an NA 4-cylinder. So again, you're not going to win any races. So while you are giving up maybe your fun driving experience, you're giving up the power, you're going to more than make up for it with its fuel economy, and you don't have to worry about a battery. You don't have to worry about everything that comes along with a hybrid. Yeah, Toyota, Honda, etc., they make very reliable hybrids, but it's just another thing you got to worry about. And with this, all you got is an NA 4-cylinder and a CVT. And if you keep up with the maintenance on the CVT and you don't drive the S out of it, you're going to be okay. It's going to last you a long time. It's just you got to maintain it. And the people who are complaining about, oh, my CVT went out at X amount of miles, well, you were probably driving the S out of it and you weren't maintaining it. It's all about maintenance. So if you want your stuff to last, you got to maintain it. And yeah, it is an upfront cost, but hey, would you rather pay that upfront $200, $300 for a transmission flush, or would you rather pay that another 30 grand for another car? You know, that's really what it comes down to. But anyways, this thing drives very nice. Take a listen to what it sounds like at about 58-ish miles an hour going over the bridge joints, and listen to the road and the wind noise. Here you go. For a $21,000 vehicle, you know, before Subaru did a refresh with the Crosstrek and the Impreza, this thing is actually quieter than both of those two. They just refreshed it, so it is much better now. But this thing's actually very well insulated from the outside world. I mean, especially being for a $21,000 vehicle. I mean, I can't complain, right? Like, this very minimal road noise, all things considered. You know, even if this was a $30,000 vehicle, I'd still be like, okay, this thing's actually well insulated from the outside world. I'm actually very impressed with how quiet it is, all things considered, with it being a $20,000 vehicle. Now, speaking of it being a $21,000 vehicle, I think it comes in at a great value. You know, it's cool to see the partially digital gauge cluster. The infotainment system is very basic, but it has what you need on it. And, you know, if you're on a budget, this may be your first car or something like that. You just, you know, don't really spend too much money on vehicles. For $21,000, and you might even be able to get these cheaper, you know, because that's just the MSRP. You can negotiate off of that. I think this is a great value, and I think you get a lot for your money, in my personal opinion. You can let me know your opinions on that in the comments down below. Here's a normal little acceleration. So obviously, you know, this being a small engine, not making too much horsepower, you got to wind it out a little bit, get it through the RPM range, get it higher up in the RPMs in order to, you know, scoot around somebody. But, you know, that's just what is to be expected. Now, I was listening to the sound system here a little bit, and it's not too bad. You know, I've heard worse, and this being a 4-speaker sound system, I don't really have that many complaints. You know, it's good enough, you know, for a $21,000 vehicle. And let's say, you know, you're looking for a cheap vehicle, okay, but you really like listening to music in your vehicle and you have a problem with the sound system that's in this. Okay, well, go spend another $500 to $800 and get a really nice aftermarket sound system. Boom, problem solved. Now you got a $21,000 vehicle and it's getting really good fuel economy and your payment is very low. You know, I just did a video the other day with a Subaru Forester base, and the base price on that, I think, was like I want to say it was like $32,000. I can't remember the exact price. But, you know, that comes out to a $500 a month payment. You know, I don't know what the payment on a $20,000 vehicle is, but you put that over the course of 72 months, and it is really not all that much. Here's a nice little acceleration normal. There's the power. So it's funny, you can feel the power band, and like once you got it up higher up in the RPMs, you can feel when it starts to pull. So that's just kind of funny because, you know, you notice that on like big V8 vehicles. You know, I don't really notice. I guess you do notice that on all vehicles if you're paying attention, but it's just like almost like Honda's VTEC, where it's like not very much power and then boom, you got the power. That's kind of how it felt here. And now once I get up to this light and this light turns green, I'm going to do a full throttle acceleration to the left. But I just did a thing where I didn't turn my turn signal on, and I got out of the lane and I got a vibration through the steering wheel. So you do get the lane departure warning, and you can feel it vibrate throughout the steering wheel. So once this light turns green, I'm going to do a full throttle acceleration here to the left, and we're going to see, you know, how this thing does acceleration wise, so you can experience it. Obviously, we're going to put it into sport mode, try to give us the best odds here, and here's floored. All right, and that was 60. Definitely Not one of the fastest 0 to 60s that I've done, but it's gonna get the job done. And you know, from stoplight to stoplight in city traffic, you're gonna be okay with its power. You know, it's just once you start flooring it and you really start getting on it, you're like, oh man, this thing does not have as much power as you would think. So stoplight to stoplight traffic, no problems with the power. When you floor it, you're gonna be like, ugh, it is what it is. It's a $20,000 vehicle. It's going to get good fuel economy. It's going to do everything that you want a $20,000 vehicle to do. It's going to save you money on car insurance. It's going to save you money with the car payment, and it's going to save you money with fuel economy. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Each like, each comment, each subscription gets me one step closer to achieving my goals and dreams, and I would just, you know, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace!